actually blame Donald Trump,
Let's say China.
the government, and the economy for the bad decisions that some people have made when they had money at a time where they could have invested into themselves. I spent 4 years inside of the industry showing people who call themselves investors a way they can actually make money where if they invested into us, they would have been very wealthy today. But they had chosen to go for hype, trends, and vaporware.
And it's gone. Poof.
Now, let me explain how bad it was. Where you would sit with these investors, explain and show, and have a full document on how they make their money, where the money is coming from, and where everything that we were doing. But they did not want to see that. Why? Because they wanted to be told they'll be rich tomorrow by people who had botted accounts, fake engagement, fake everything. So if you did not have all that, they wanted nothing to do with investing into your platform or anything that you do. So now in today's time, where they lost everything that they put the money into, some people lost their housing, their savings, everything. And now they want to blame Trump, the government, and the economy, which the Trump, the government, and the economy is one thing. But a lot of people have invested into a bunch of nonsense and lost all of their money. Now, there's things that people can do today, but people want instant gratification. For example, Gen Z. They say they can't buy houses, which is true. They can't buy houses right now. And they just living paycheck to paycheck. But at the same breath, however, they are also wearing luxury. They're taking 2 years, they call it micro retirement. They take 2 years off of working. They go on vacations. And I believe if you need to go on vacation, then you don't need to go back to that job, which they do micro retirement, whatever that means. But let's go into one thing where there's something that actually has a very huge success rate, but people won't invest into the time, not just money, but the time for themselves. And I'm going to show you a roadmap that I took where it takes me time, money, but also it takes the willpower of me doing things. And my success rate is guaranteed because of just me. I built a system and I chose an industry where the success is based off me, not markets, not sentiments, none of those type of stuff like that, trends or anything, none of those type of things. So let's get into the computer and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now we are inside the computer, so what we're going to do is basically go over some of the things I wanted to talk about. So let's go over my roadmap right here. This is basically my roadmap. I wanted just to give you an idea on what my plans are when it comes to the rest of this year, when it comes to my students, which is Inspire Society, Inspire University. All right. And I basically want to go over what my plans with these guys and basically show you how I use my time and the money that I put into building this platform and how I didn't just follow trends and whatever the case may be. I chose to go to a boring route, and the boring route will create you long-term wealth, right? So instead of trying to get this right here, trying to get $10,000 a month, right? Instead of getting this right here, I'd rather make this right here, right? 100K a month, and you can actually do this when I'm about to show you. All right. And again, I'm not showing you guys for me to sell this to you. Just basically showing you because you could go do this yourself. Just that you know, like the industry, you can get into the industry yourself. All right. So my goal is to enroll more students, and by 2026, I'm gonna have about at least 500 to 1,000 students. Probably not $. And we're going to be going to where it's going to be monthly payments, right, for the tuition. I am also working on getting accredited, so which takes about 1 or 2 years. You want to basically show the government basically you can run the school and actually make money and stuff like that. So going through all that, putting all the paperwork together and putting the curriculum where basically credits together and all that stuff like that. We're coming up with the certificates that you guys get, the degrees, all the graduation and all this type of stuff. All that stuff is being put together for you guys. So that's the thing, and then we get buildings and stuff. So and also for our students, they'll be able to actually open their own trade. I'll go into that in the video further. So the next thing I want to do is then raise capital. We do something different. We want to raise the money. That's what we're doing. We're raising money up. So we're getting the bucks together, the capital, everything like that. And then what we're going to do is then give it to the students. Okay? Give it to the students in the community. And the reason why we're doing that is because our investors be able to eat off of what we do with the government contracts. So we're going to be GC for government contracts, the business that we're buying, so acquisition of businesses, right? And then they also can make money from the students that learn from us. So when the students, excuse the handwriting, my handwriting's I'm just scribbling. The students that basically learn from, again, doing government contracts, and also we teaching them to acquire businesses as well. They make money from that as well. So the next thing we want to show people that's a real way of gaining true wealth and buying businesses and starting a business basically that works, by working with the government. So that's the number one thing that we want to basically push here is why start a business from the ground up, where you can start a business and already have a customer base, which is the most reliable customer base on the planet, which is the government. So if you work for the government, where you can work, also you can work federal. So you can work federal, you work city, you work county, you can work state. So right now, we're dealing with depending on when you're watching the video, we're dealing with a government shutdown at the moment right now. But so we won't be to it'll kind of hurt. It will hurt us for about 30 to 60 days, right? It could be less than 60 days, but 30, whatever it stops, right? We wanted to stop because that's where the big money's at up here. The big money's up here. But we can still always work here. So we can work city, we can work county, and we can work state. So the money doesn't stop, and I like that versus dealing with something like this, right? Where it's all a sentiment, and then people just aren't hype enough, whatever the case may be, and the price tanks, whatever the case may be, or you run out of customer base. For example, if you're doing pyramid schemes and stuff like that, you can't sell the pyramid to everybody, or the trend as a bubble, and then it pops and then it bursts, right? So I'm not really interested in those type of things like that. I really like the fact that this is a for sure way of making money and actually generating wealth right here. So it's the most safest bet. So I'd rather go with this route here. The next thing, the job market is terrible. As you guys definitely know, the job market is terrible. And with this, we can get people paid. So how does this work is, so we basically start a GovCon business, right? Which we already have one, but just basically giving you an example. You start a GovCon business. Well, next we help you acquire a business, right? So AB stands for acquire business, right? Next, what happens is if you don't have the funding, we'll help you fund it with the funding with our capital that we raise. And then what happens is we take 10% of the business. The business that you purchase already has income coming in, so it says income. So now you're getting this right here. But what does this have to do with people getting jobs? So working with the government with a WIOA program, right? We get paid to train people. So for example, my expertise is in HVAC. I'm not an HVAC person, right? But I don't do HVAC. Plumbing, this is the companies I buy, basically. Roofing, all this stuff. Basically anything that got something to do with like building real estate or fixing real estate, anything like that. Right? So if I get a student that wants to learn HVAC, the government can pay me up to $15,000. So what happens is instead of this student paying me 15 grand, what happens is, because that's when we're going to actually remove our well, we're still going to have up there for more benefits for like getting the funding and stuff like that. But for like the initial 15,000 will be tuition, this would be like that. So you don't have to worry about getting put in debt or anything like that. Again, the government will pay the initial fee for you to get in, and then you can pay monthly for the funding features and all that stuff like that. But other than that, we want people to come and learn this stuff. So once they learn, and even if they just say we don't want to join Spartan Society on that aspect, we don't want to learn how to do this. We just want to work. We just want to basically fix air conditioners and heaters and stuff. So what we'll do is we just basically give them a job inside of our GD. And what that stands for is government department. So we'll place them inside of our HVAC company or one of the HVAC companies that we will purchase, and we'll put them inside of the government department. So we get the contract, we look for hires. Obviously, you want to make sure that you hire the people that you know can do the job, which is if you train them, then you know they could do the job. So once you know that they have the certifications, all this type of stuff, compliance is you know you keep all that in order with this right here. So then you also help in the job market by helping people get jobs here. So this system is really good because of that. Another thing, we will be able to work all around the world, okay? And people across the world can start businesses with us and stuff. So we are partner with, and they can partner with people in America. So for example, we have students inside of Africa, and then they can be able to work with America. So they'll be able to start an LLC out here and work with Sam. So .gov, they'll be able to work with this right here and be able to have a business running from America. So, and you can think about how much money they can make from that. So let's just say that they close $100,000 deal, right? That could change that person's life inside of Africa. So this is something that another thing that we can bring to the table. And this is something that we do bring to the table when it comes to basically changing people's lives across the world and also changing people's lives that's inside of America by giving them jobs here and stuff. So that's another plus of why I like the system here. So let's go to the next thing. So we help businesses get funded multiple different ways. So not only do we help fund with our own fund, so we're not only with like government contracts and that's what we help with, government contracts and business acquisition, right? So acquiring businesses and government contracts is what we help with, but we help with getting bank funding. We help with getting bank funding. We help with VCs. We also help with angel investing, and we also help with grants. So there's a 4 different avenues that we help you with outside of ourselves, but you do get funding from us when it comes to your government contracts and acquiring businesses. So that's the thing that we you know, I'm raising money with my investors now to basically give to the students so they can do their job. But other than that, when it comes to this side here, these are things that is very important when it comes to businesses, which is raising money. So you want to raise money from these avenues as well. You don't really raise the money here. You just bring us the contract. You bring us the deal, and we'll basically do our due diligence on it, and then we'll put out the money for it if it makes sense. And then that's that right there. Another thing also, which is another way you can make money when it comes to this, is if you invite somebody here, you get a 1.3% success fee because we get a 5% success fee when they get funded in any of these ways, right? So when they get funded in any of these ways, you get paid as well, and as many times. So they get funded here twice, you get paid twice on this bank. If they get funded twice for 2 different VCs, you get paid that. 2 for angel investors, and then grants as well. So that's another way that you can also use this as an income source as well, right there. So do we also help with credit due to the fact that you know you need this right here when it comes to your business. So when you first start an LLC, it's connected to you mainly, and you want to basically before you get it unconnected, because there's ways you can do that. You want to basically build your credit first because they will look at your business, especially if you're a brand new business. They will look at your credit versus the business credit, but you have to build that up with DUNS. All right. So we help with that credit repair. We don't do the credit repair for you. We teach you how to do it yourself. Again, this is a super hands-on platform. There is no course. It's basically like college because that's what we're going to be. We are a college, but when I say we're going to be, I'm talking about accredited and all that stuff like that, big buildings and stuff. That's the goal, is to create a college experience that people can come to. But we are a college, but experience of that part. That's, you know. All right. So become one of the biggest and newest and funds. So when I say new, I want to bring something innovative, right? We let people inside of social society, Sparta Society, let people as part of Sparta Society create actual wealth. So it's not just like we just acquire all these businesses and all that type of stuff like that. We wanted to do something different where everybody can be able to succeed what we do. So that's what I wanted to bring to the light, to where it's like you have there's no reason why anyone should fail here. A lot of excuses when it comes to government contracting is they don't have money. So we would remove that due to we raise money with investors, making it a very safe bet when it comes to us, due to the fact that they know where their money's coming from is a very predictable ROI. There's no, I don't know if this is going to work or anything like that. There's none of that type of stuff that here. The only thing that you have to bet on is people. And investors don't bet on the people. We actually bet on the people. That's how we lose money, is when we bet on the wrong person. So I like that type of aspect where we're not betting just on companies. We're betting on people, right? It's the best investment, to be honest with you, is with people. Betting on people and seeing how far they can go. I think that that's one of the best investments that you can make, is on a person, especially if you believe in that person. And you believe in also your judgment and everything like that. And that's basically what we are about when it comes to society. We want to make sure that we make the best judgments when it comes to people. And it's going to be, it's going to be a lot of due diligence when it comes to picking these people that we do fund and everything that, because there's a lot of work that we have here for you guys to go through. Like, for example, the trainings, all those type of things like that. You go through the trainings. We have the training backgrounds, all the stuff, tests, everything that you need when it comes to taking the exams and everything. So all those type of things like that. So taking the exams, all the stuff. So we have all those things here. When it comes to getting yourself funded and stuff, that you get the voucher, and this is how we'll know that you guys are ready when it comes to funding, getting funded and everything like that. So we have all the documents here. When it comes to learning everything that you need to know, you'll be able to just click here and then basically set up everything that you need to know. So we have all that stuff here. We do a lot of training in person, not in person, but digital. It's gonna be in person too as well, but digital. So again, there's no like watch my videos. Any videos that you do see on here, these videos will be, pardon me, these videos are videos that you see on YouTube. So we have some exclusive videos up here as well, but most of the videos that you will see up here is from YouTube. Okay, so you have that there. We want to become something different. We want to also become a fund that's huge when it comes to owning a lot of assets, from all different types of industries, from gaming, from cybersecurity, from AI companies, from any type of real estate, come to cleaning, but a lot of boring businesses where it's not too fun. Well, if not all of them are boring businesses, when it comes to none of these things are being fun. And again, like I said in the beginning of the video, it was kind of hard to, when a lot of the people who call themselves investors was investing into cryptocurrency, Web3, and blockchain games and stuff like that. It was really difficult to get these people to invest in something real, due to the fact that they didn't want to see anything that have something to do with, like, where's my money coming from, how the money is made. Like this right here, they would have been like, nah, I'm logging out already, due to the fact that it's a lot of explaining, and it's something that's real. It was very weird. I even heard, like, people even say to me, Seth, you cannot promote something that actually has a product attached to it, due to the fact that they're not looking for something to be there. They're looking to get in and get out. And then as you can see from the outcome of that, that's not the way you make money. That's not how you make real wealth. That's not how it works. As you can see, that's basically what happened to them. So a lot of, if not all, the industry wasn't in it for the long term, and now you see the result of that. All right, um, so I'm helping make change with students by buying businesses. Okay, so with them buying businesses, gaining true access to wealth, and making sure investors eat off the success of the companies. And we don't have no type of predatory thing where it's like, okay, we're just milking the company dry, whatever, we destroy the company, then we leave it. When it comes to real estate development, we want to make our houses affordable. We normally want to, like, that's what my goal is, to normally have it to where it's for government, like soldiers, scientists, firefighters, police officers, stuff like that. Give them discounts and whatever the case may be on those type of aspects, and when it comes to rent and buying, and also when it comes to any Sparta University or Sparta Society member or student could be able to live in these houses as well. And also when it comes to being a Sparta Society member, your children and your a significant other, if you're married, is automatically a member as well. We initiate them as well into our fraternity, and what that means is so your kids will have somewhere they have a discount and all the type of stuff that they can go to. But we're not going to jack the prices up on them and everything like that. So that's one thing that's a real huge goal when it comes to 2026 and going into 2027. So this is a goal of mine when it comes to Spartan Society, is basically making sure that the people that take care of us when it comes to believing in us, getting us to this point, the investors and everything like that, the government giving us a shot and everything, and then we'll return the favor with that there. So why do we work? Why do we work? Full transparency. Okay. So let's get into it. Let me zoom in here. You know my eyes are terrible. All right. So number one, starting a government business. Here's the pros. The government is the most reliable customer in the world. As I said, they pay. The contracts are public, and they have to spend the money every fiscal year. Okay, they have to legally. They have to. So once they're in bond with a contract with you, they have to pay you. But you got to do the work though. That's number one. Okay. So tons of entry points from cleaning services to cybersecurity, HVAC, trucking, construction, AI, you name it, the government buys it. Okay. So they literally buy anything. And that's a really good thing. There's no way you can't make money. Okay. You can make money in multiple different ways at the same time too. And then just no cap on the much money that you can make. All right. So certifications. Minority, veteran, HubZone. These are things that give small businesses a huge advantage over billion-dollar primes, which is primary companies, huge companies. Okay, and then you can subcontract first when you first start. First learn the ropes, low risk, and then before you jump into huge deals and everything like that, where usually these are life-changing deals. So where it can be something like 100K, right, to 1 million. This is a small deal. This is considered a small deal too. This is small. They call that small. So that's that right there. So let's go into the cons. Bureaucracy is heavy. Registrations it's crazy. It takes a lot. Okay, so it's a lot of registrations, a lot of getting a lot of information and stuff like that on yourself and everything, getting your DUNS numbers, getting cage codes, getting all these type of things like that. And a lot of certifications that you need to know, like compliance, a lot of those type of things like that. So it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience and stuff like that. So if you are looking to do something that's going to make you wealthy in the long run, and again, you can get wealthy very fast as well, but it's still talking about the long run, as in you got to get those certifications and everything that you got to be into it, right? So like the first 6 months are going to be nothing but working. You still gonna be making money, but you still got a lot of paperwork to sign. So it's like that. So there's a lot of learning to do. Once you know, so cash flow is a pain point. Even a contract in hand, payments can take up to 30 to 90 days, which isn't bad for a lot of people, right? A lot of people don't see that as bad, but some people do. If they don't have capital or fund behind you, it's stressful. We don't have to worry about that. That's what we're here for. And then compliance is not optional. Screw up the FAR, cause state law, and fines are brutal. So once you guys know that, so fines are crazy. So these things alone could wipe you out, the fines. So, but you see, that's not bad. It's not bad. It's all about what you do. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you take action, get all the certifications and registrations and all that stuff together, you'll be all right. When it comes to the cash, we help you with the cash. You ain't got to worry about that. And then all you got to do is basically follow the law. Boom. All right. So let's go to the next thing. It's going to buying businesses. Buying businesses, you skip the struggle. All right, you skip that. All right, so buying something that already making money means you have a cash flow on day one. So automatically, as soon as you buy the business, you already are in profit. Okay, it all depends too. Again, we make sure you buy the right business. That's what we're here for. Bank private lenders and even SBA are more willing to fund acquisition deals than raw startups. All right, especially if you show proof of government contracts, which is what the whole thing is about. Government contracts. As soon as you buy a business, put a government department in it. Boom, it increases the value of the company. As soon as you purchase it, you already put the company up this way. So once you buy the company already goes up this way, goes up. Spartan S teaches boring businesses, and that's again no fast trends, no flashy stuff, boring businesses, HVAC, plumbing, landscaping, etc. The ones that print money when contracts consistently and win contracts consistently. Pardon me. So when we print money, I wanted to say we print money even during difficult times. Because people always gonna need a roof fixed, people gonna always need plumbing, landscaping, these type of things like that. It's very important. Cybersecurity is getting real big. So people gonna always need these things. You can layer contracts on top of your existing business, and then multiple value fast, multiplying value fast. All right, here's the cons. Seller financing and deal structuring can be complicated. All right, if you're new, you need to know good debt versus bad debt, and we have classes on that, so you don't have to worry about those type of things like that. Manage risk. Your inheriting staff, culture, and problems. If the business owner was a secret sauce, you had to replace the value. Don't worry, I am a business consultant and business developer who also understands people, so I'm here to help you with that. Valuation matters. Overpaying for a business could set you back years. Again, that's what we're here for. Help you make sure that those things don't happen to you. All right. So, starting your own university. Again, our goal is to make sure that what we do here, we pass it down. Okay. So, absolute game changer for positioning. Having a school attached to government contracts elevates your credibility with employers, partners, and even contracting officers. Okay. So, remember, that's one thing. You can align with the WIOA workforce and workforce grants, meaning the government can literally pay you to train your own workplace, your own workforce, your own workspace, right? It creates another revenue stream. You're not just chasing contracts. You're setting education. You're selling education. Pardon me. These things is blurry on my iPad. Smart asset models let you build this without needing full accreditation. Right away, you can start with a state approval or just workforce programs. Okay, so here's the cons of this. Accreditation and approval can be a maze, which is why we're handling that for you guys as well. It's not a quick flip. It's mid to long term build. Running a school means building all the stuff that we're going to do for you. Managing compliance and hiring instructors. Not everyone wants this on top of business. If you just want fast cash, it's the slowest of the three models. So, but it creates long term legacy. So if you're looking for fast cash, this whole program isn't going to be for you at all. This is, if you like, again, we don't sell to get rich quick due to the fact that it doesn't exist. Get rich quick is the only way you can get rich quick is by selling it, get rich quick. And that's not what we're here to do. We don't want to sell anybody dreams. So we want to make sure that you guys understand, and this is why I'm giving you full transparency on what everything is about. So let's do the full transparency on the Spartan way. So Spartan way, why it works. This Spartan society, the Spartan society way isn't about chasing trends. It's about stacking durable wealth pillars. Government contract business, recurring government revenue, buying businesses, instant cash flow, plus leverageable assets, and then starting your own university, credibility, workforce pipeline, and extra funding streams. Okay, so that's right there. It's very important to have. Together, they build a cycle. 1, you win contracts. 2, you staff and train through your university. 3, you buy more business to handle delivery. And 4, you grow a portfolio that keeps tracking contracts, talent, and investors. Okay, so again, that's our goal is to make sure that you get investing. All right, so pros of the Spartan way: multiple income streams, contracts, business revenue, tuition, training. Okay, built-in investors and students network. You're not doing it alone. Structured roadmap, step-by-step systems instead of figuring it out yourself. We make sure no one is doing this alone. Long-term wealth, not just a side hustle. It aligns with the government spending, which won't shrink anytime soon. This is very important to understand. All right. Next, here's the cons. It's not fast money. It's a 2 to 5 year play to build something real. Requires patience, discipline, and willingness to learn government process. You need a team mindset. This isn't a solo entrepreneur drop shipping from your laptop. Upfront time and some financial investment, even if it's even with seller finances, certifications, and training. There's a cost. Basically like getting your LLC and all that stuff like that. If you want that instant dopamine or trend chasing profits, this path would be filled boring for you. So again, if you just looking to get rich quick fast, this is not going to be for you, due to the fact that This is really built for actual wealth. So all those people who scream generational wealth, all that types of stuff like that, this platform is actually built only to create generational wealth. If you're just looking to get a quick Lambo, all that type of stuff like that, I promise you, you're not gonna. This is not gonna be for you, and you're not a customer base here. We don't really treat people like customers, treat them as family, due to the fact that when you, after you become a student, you become a member of the society. So Spartan University, then Spartan Society. Okay, what is all inside society? All right. So why do we work? The Spartan Society way is not for everyone. If you're chasing quick trends, flashy businesses, or overnight success, it will feel slow and heavy. Just want you to know, again, this is how real wealth is created. This is how real wealth is created. We're not giving you anything that's going to be, oh, everybody holding their face 10,000 tomorrow, give you $500 a day. None of that stuff works anyway. But I'm just letting you know, this isn't, you're not going to hear that from us. I just want you to know that you're not going to hear that from us. This is building real wealth. You can pass all this stuff down to your children, and their children's children. This is where you buy the mansions. You get all this stuff like that. This is how you get all these type of things, the cars, all this stuff, right? Where you don't have to rent and do Airbnb and make a facade all over the internet. Okay, as you can see, for the people who know how big my home is, this isn't Airbnb. Just want you to know this is my home. You get what I'm saying? So, just let you know that. So when you want to create generational wealth, it's patience in it. I'm not a fan of trend chasing. Every time I tried to make a trend business, it never worked. Never worked. Not once. Not once. Okay. That's that. But if you want a long-term government-backed with wealth system with assets that feed each other, contracts, business, education, this is one of the safest, smartest, and most innovative plays in 2025 and beyond. Think of this like this: Spartan Society doesn't just teach you to play the game; we teach you how to own the board. Now, I want you to understand one thing. Okay, this is the safest thing that you can get yourself into. It's the safest thing. Okay. No one wants to scam the government. That's number one. Not the federal government. You don't want to scam the federal government. It's impossible to do. Well, it's possible. But the way we teach you is there's kind of no way. The people that will get scammed, if anything, which is legal paperwork, get sued off the planet if you try to scam us. But we make sure that all that stuff is in the thing. So you don't have to worry about when it comes to. I'm trying to figure out like how can somebody gets scammed or whatever the case may be, but you don't have to worry about those type of things like that. When it comes to like networking and partnering with each other and stuff, we help you with those, introduce you to who you need to know, and those type of things like that. So that's that. That's very important to know. All right, so that's that. So pardon me. This is I typed this up fast. So this is supposed to say how does the system work? How I make millionaires 100% for sure. You will see it in real time. Keep following, like, subscribe, follow everything. And then you will see no testimonies. I don't want to do no testimonies. The reason why I don't want to do any testimonies, I'd rather you watch these people from nothing come into the Discord. You see it in the Discord. Come into the Discord. You will see it. Where we're talking about the government, talking about building the businesses. You just see me recently right here. Just to show you guys for yourselves. Again, come into the Discord right here. You see, just got my everybody get your EIN number and go for your duns. This is start building your credit, business credit, and you see this here. So you see these things happening in real time. You see it happening in real time, and that's what I want you guys to see. I want you to see it happening real time versus you could just see somebody been paid to say, "Oh, I made this amount of money" and stuff like that. This is actually one of the sites we buy businesses, as you can see in the middle of me working. So, but yeah, that's that. So we want to see that. So I want you to like, comment, subscribe on this channel, turn your notifications and all that stuff on. Basically see it and actually be one of the people that's part of the journey and stuff like that. Again, you could do monthly payments when it comes to your tuition. If you're going to go the tuition route, you can do that. And you can be a part of the journey of being one of those millionaires. Now, I want you to understand we're going to go into it on the success rate on it, how, like, what it takes to be successful and the possibilities of failure. We're going to go into all this stuff like that. I'm going to show you super transparency. So why don't I sell courses? Okay. Why don't I sell courses? Because I want to actually know I am making a difference in the world. That's why I don't sell courses. By the way, I was mentored by this guy. I was one of his first 67 steps students. This is a long time ago, so I was like one of the first students that got scammed by him. So just wanted you to know. Um, I want to make sure, and I want to do something different than these guys. By the way, I want to say this. Let me just rephrase that. Um, what Ty Lopez taught mentally on a mental mindset stage wasn't a scam, but it's just like the rest of it, like the all the trendy stuff was a scam. But that's that. So I just want to put that out there. But other than that, Tyler Lopez actually do make money. Now he's in some BS now, with the SEC, but other than that, he does actually know how to make money. But other than that, that's all I can say good about him. I do not want to come out on YouTube and say I'm doing all these things for people, and I want you to witness it. So I just want to just come out here and say, like the Iman Gadzis and these guys, like, oh, I'm doing this. This people doing this, making this amount of money and stuff like that. I don't want to do none of stuff like that. I want you guys to actually witness it. And as we put up here, and you see us working, coming to the Discord, see us working. You'll see us going live on Kick. You see us working on there. So those things. Maybe you can become one of those people I make wealthy as well. So hopefully 2020, by the end of this year or 2026, I see you. Okay, so let's be real. Chances of success with this model, okay? So chances of success with our model, training, mentorship, funding access, networking, and compliance coaching, a motivated student have a very high shot at success. I'd ballpark it at 65 to 75%. That's very high. Okay, from where 95% of businesses fail. So if you take 75% away from that, right, it's only 20. It's only 20% chance of you failing, right? And if you take 65, that's only 30% of chance of you failing. Now, that's a real. I'll take that. I'll take that. You know. So that's why that's way higher than the average entrepreneur who's just winging it. Okay, so because small businesses owners never even hear about government contracts, is let alone have a system that will walk them through the whole proposal, writing, teaming, and funding. So there's not a lot of people that knows about this anyway. That's number one. So the government kind thing, it's just probably your first time hearing about it. Not too many people know about it. But also when people do know about it, they don't have the system that we have set up for you guys. So why the advantage? Government is the biggest consumer in the world. They must spend, by the way, with small businesses by law. The students aren't going into blind. They got a roadmap, a network, and access to teaming and subbing deals. Even a single small contract, 100,000 to 500,000, could change their life and trajectory. Okay, so just remember that very small contract, small 100,000, 500,000 dollars. All right. So chances of failure. Let's get into that. So the chances of failure. On the flip side, failure can still happen. I say 25 to 30%. 25 to 35%. Again, it's very small rate. Even with the model and the causes almost always boil down to human behavior and discipline. Okay? Human behavior and discipline. Top causes of failure. Lack of consistency. They don't submit enough bids or they give up after losing a couple. Government kind is volume and persistence. No team or partnership. Trying to go solo instead of leveraging teaming agreements, subs, and this part of the network, which is the network we got is crazy for you guys, and we just doing a lot of networking for you guys, so you guys can succeed. Poor compliance, paperwork, missing certifications, blowing proposal deadlines, or failing to follow the SF 49 apartment instructions. Funding mismanagement, winning a contract but not having cash flow or bonding in place to actually deliver. Okay, chasing shiny objects, getting distracted with trendy businesses instead of sticking to boring, fundable, government-friendly services, HVAC, cleaning, construction, IT support, etc. Staffing, you could do so much. Mindset collapse, expecting fast money and quitting when it doesn't come in the first 3 to 6 months. Okay, so this right here is going to cook people the most. Number 6 is cook people the most. People want that instant gratification that doesn't exist. And anybody promising you that is a fraud. Just want you to know that. Okay, so next. Failure in Spartan society, our system. Natural failure. Failure and Spartan Society, our system. Nature of failure. If a student fails, hold on, fails, I can't see this. If a student fails, you see it's really blurry. If student fails, here is usually self-inflicted, not using the tools, not staying consistent, or not following the roadmap. The system is designed to minimize risk. So when they lose, it's because they didn't execute, not because the opportunity wasn't there. Impact. Even failure often leaves them with certifications, skills, and the government-ready LLC that can still make money later. Basically, they lose time, not the whole business. Recovery. So easy to recover. Failure can easily plug back. Failures can even plug back into the network, so they can, if they fail, they set up everything, they can come back probably a year or two, whatever case may be, and just plug back into the system. They'll be behind like crazy, but be able to plug into the system. Partners partner on another deal or pivot into subcontracting until they get stronger. Okay, so that's basically failing on our aspects. Failure in the trend businesses. Okay, so dropshipping, infrastructure, brands, FBA, etc. So nature of failure. Here is the failure. Here the failure is market driven. Trends dry up, algorithm changes, customers acquisition costs skyrockets. Even if you do everything right, the business can collapse overnight. Impact, total wipeout. So no government safety net, no legal requirements, requirement for customers to buy from you. If the trend dies, so does the business. Recovery is hard to recover, usually requires starting over with a whole new hustle. The skills don't always transfer, and credibility with investors is weaker. Okay, so the next thing after that, so failure from a startup, traditional entrepreneurial route. Nature of failure. If this is infrastructure driven. They fail because they run out of money, out of capital, before hitting product market fit. Building everything from scratch, brand teams, cash flow is slow and risky. Impact. Financial loss is usually heavy. They burn savings, loans, or investors' cash with nothing guaranteed to show for it. Recovery is very tough. Okay, the company structure might collapse completely. They either re-raise money, hard without traction, or close shop. Lesson learned can be viable, but the cost is brutal. So that's basically like how hard it is between all three of us. If you can go back and listen to the failures of three of us, and with our failures, you can still go off with something and still come back and plug in too. So it's like nothing. You just failed because you stepped away, and then you can just come back. All right. So let's be real. Chances of success with this model. The difference is plain language. The difference in plain language. Spartan Society failure equals quitting yourself. The system is there, contracts are there, funding is there. If you walk away, that's on you. All right, trend businesses failures. The world quits on you. The hype is gone, and no one and no system in the world can save you. Okay, and then the ground of startups fell. The money quit on you. You ran out of cash before you figured it out. All right, so listen. Government contracts is one of the safest safest bets in business. The government is the biggest customer in the world, and they legally have to spend money with small businesses like yours. So with the Sparta model, your chances of winning are very high. Okay, they're very higher than average. But here's the truth: if you don't stay consistent, build your team, and follow instructions, you'll fail. That's basically that. So if you don't like to do a bunch of reading and stuff like that, this isn't, again, if you want fast money, I want to be rich tomorrow, those type of things like that, this isn't going to be for you. It's not the system that fails, it's the execution. Yeah, I think that. So let me just show on the investor side and basically show you how the system works, okay? On the investor side, let me show you. So basically on everybody's side. So this is how everybody, all right, so the investor. Here's how it works. They fund SSG, which is Spartan Strategic Group. We fund SS, Spartan Society. Spartan Society has a university, SU, Spartan University. All right. Spartan University has students. All right, students. Okay, students learn government contracting. GC. They start their business. Start business, SB. So start their business. And then after everything is done, they register for SAM.gov. They got everything ready to roll. They start bidding. On the same note, students are also looking for businesses. So looking for businesses and acquiring businesses. So here's how it works. Investors, we raise money with investors. Investors, SSG gives the money to Spartan Society students, which is in Spartan University. So once the student has a government contract, if all the numbers is correct and good, we'll fund up to 90%, next to 100. All depend on where the person is and they're starting. If at the beginning they really they have no money at all, we'll fund 100%. Okay. Now we'll take 37% of. Now what happens is on the very first one, if we do 100%, we'll take 60%, 40% to goes to student on their first deal. On the first deal. Okay? So on the first deal, we'll take the most. Okay? 37% of the profits of the government contract. This is a government contract only. So on government contract will go to Sparta Society, and then 63% will go to investors. Okay. So this is for each student, by the way. So this is for each student. So each student that comes to us for funding, right? It will go down. The number goes down to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it goes down to about 40%. We take 40%, and then you guys take 80%. 60%. Pardon me. I think it flips after the first deal, and that's basically how it takes on each student making money from government contract. So if we fund the deal when it comes to, again, investors, SSG goes to Spartan Society, goes to Spartan University, goes to now we're on this side. Now go here. So now we're on this side. So see the triangle here. Okay. So now let's go into a business side. So let's say that the buyer, the seller, pardon me, the seller just wants 30% down, right? On a $300,000 business, they want to sell a business for $300,000. We'll give it 30% down. So we'll give it 30%. We'll fund that down right there, and what we'll get is 10% of the company. Okay. So any cash flow, we'll make sure we do our due diligence, obviously. Any cash flow that this company has here, the student will have to do is pay the seller, and then pay SSG, which is us. And then what we'll do is we'll give 7% to investors, and 3% will come to us. All right, so 3% will go to us. All right, so that's how that works here. So investors now make money off of each student government contract, and then they also will make money off of each student that buys a business. So each business. Hold on, guys. There you go. So each business. Excuse the handwriting. All right, so just to stick with me here. My handwriting's always gonna be bad. Um, so you got each business that is inquired that we help inquire, and then each student that we help with their government contracts. Okay, so everybody wins. Investor wins, student wins, we win, right? So every that's a so SSG, well SS, investors, and then you get the students. Unlike the crypto VCs and everything like that, when it's all about dumping on, no one's dumping on anybody. No one's dumping the bag. No one holds the bag. No one holds the bag. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically that. And then also investors make money from us when we do our own deals, our acquired businesses that we acquire, all the type of things like that. There's a lot of money inside of it. And then it's like everyone earns as well because the students also can become investors as well to invest into the fund, and then they can earn from the fund as well. So it's just where everybody wins. Everybody wins, and that's basically the goal right there. All right, so I wanted to show you guys that what we're doing here. Um, just want you to know there's we got way more. It's a lot behind the scenes on it. Full extensive training on everything. Again, I haven't seen a community where it raises money to give back to the community. It's a W for you guys, where again, while everybody's having problems inside the world, you guys are actually building. Again, the government will always make money, and they always need landscaping and always like that. So they always need the stuff, and you guys won't be out of a job due to the stuff. So again, the city has to keep going, the state has to keep going, everything has to keep going, no matter how bad the economy get. So they need us, and they have to pay us legally. Have to pay us. So this is the best thing that you can do when it comes to buying a business. When it comes to starting a business, you're not starting from the ground. You're not looking for customers. The businesses that you acquire, they have their own customer base. So you're buying the contracts, you're buying the assets, you have the assets, you're able to use that collateral to be able to get funding. It's just so much that you guys can do when it comes to being a part of Spartan Society. It is and will be, if not the biggest way to create actual generational wealth, where there's not going to be people that are sitting there doing this. They can't do this because it's a lot of learning inside of it. So you won't see so many people trying to mimic us, because um, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. So we're like the Y Combinator when it comes to starting a business and working with the government. So hopefully, you kind of got an idea of everything that we got here. I know it's a lot. It's an information dump. Watch the video again if you need to, because this is something they should have been teaching us in school, but they haven't. Again, when people spent all their money inside of crypto, they could have been doing something like this, but they chose not to. And I understand at the time, you was told everything that you wanted to hear. But now you see that none of that stuff works. It's time to create real wealth. And creating real wealth is actually boring. Just want you to know that it's not fun. It's not meant to be sexy. It's very boring, which is why all of the richest people on the planet all do boring things. Okay, so it's not what you guys think it is when it comes to creating wealth. Like, comment, subscribe in the video. I'll see you in the next video. Got more to talk about.